We'll get into
Oh,
it. And
but
we'll,
you,
we'll just
you
chat.
know I'm bad at the intro. You
I know
know that this is
that's why I like you doing it.
fucking fine. Welcome back to another episode of The Best of the Mess with Joshua Smith and Alex Chidiak. We need to just have that on a recording loop. That's it. Cut that, put that everywhere. It
I think
stresses me out. This is what stresses me out about the podcast, the intro.
I know, and I know that's the thing. You're great at everything else. It's the only part you get anxiety about. Thing is, you have this
Bloody
such a
hell.
distinctive voice. It's just such a distinctive voice, and it just cuts through all the noise. It's great.
I think you have a distinctive voice and a distinctive laugh. You're just distinctive. That's what you are.
We can, you know what we can do? We can cut my laugh on loop, and we can cut your intro on loop, and we'll just use those
Yeah.
audio clips from the editing from now on.
We
Oh,
could make that as a whole episode. Just my attempted intros and your laughs in between.
that'd be fantastic. Mate, first of all, I just want to say, like, your highlight reel from the weekend I saw was crazy cool. So, congrats. Yeah. Talk to me.
Mate, the best part about it is it's not even my goal. It goes down as an own goal.
I know. I know. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. How can
Yeah.
how can a keeper be listed as having an own goal? That's the question.
I mean, I've seen some pretty distinct keeper throws the ball into the goal.
Yep.
That was not that.
That was not that.
So
No.
yeah. And that's like the first I've been like practicing essentially hitting the shit out of the ball. Like I've been trying to hit it properly. Like I never got taught as a kid. Every time I try to attempt a long ball, it's always like I don't hit it properly. Like I'm not a very conventional footballer. So I've been really practicing at training and I was like, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna get an opportunity. As soon as I hit it, I was like, I know what's gonna happen here. And then it's not even my goal. That's the first thing I find out. When I step off the field, I was like, just give it to me. Just come on. Like, come on.
Surely this is for me, right? This is a goal of the season contender. Surely it's listed as an Alex Chuniak goal of the season contender.
No, an own goal of the season contender. That's what that is. That's brutal. Brutal. But anyway, it's fine. We got the 3 points. It's all that matters. I really wanted a goal though.
Just gonna have to do it again. People can't touch it at all though. It's be clean.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
clean.
no touches from anyone else. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
let's process
Okay.
that.
We're good.
Process
We're good.
gone. Okay, you've had a busy
Process.
couple of weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, I feel like you've had a busier couple of weeks. I think we have in different, I mean, you've been out of the country. I've been very much in the country,
Hmm.
just grinding away at my
Hmm.
side hustles. It's
Yeah,
been a time. It's been a
yeah.
time.
Let's look. We'll get to both of them, right? We'll get to both of them.
Okay. Okay.
We get to my couple of weeks, your couple of weeks. If you listen to this, we've Alex and I have had a bit of a break from each
I know we
other.
broke up for a little bit. Yeah.
Broke up for a little bit. Separation anxiety got us back together.
Mhm.
Um, and so now we're going to try and get back onto some things on the regular. So it's been a couple of weeks. I think it's been about 4 weeks maybe since we've done something. 4 5, maybe a bit
Four
more.
weeks.
Has it been more than that?
No chance. No, no, no.
Are you sure?
We attempted when you were in Bali and then your computer died.
Ah,
So
that's right. That's right. And I was no, I was in Bali. I left for Bali on the 3rd of Feb. Today's the 4th of March. So it's been 4 weeks.
that's
That's
disturbing.
that's how crazy things have been.
Oh my gosh. No, I can't even process that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's get to what's been happening with you while I've been out of the country, and then we can get to what's happening on my end as well. Because I'm excited for your stuff.
Okay. Well, first of all, I mean, we had a lovely international break. So it's probably the first time in a while I've actually been able to not do anything in that time. So we
Hmm.
had maybe like a couple days off. got to go pretty hard at training. My parents came. My dad had a conference here in Melbourne. So both my parents came, got to hang out with my mum for a fair bit of that. So that was really a nice, like, short 4 days together. But I was driving a lot. I was getting exhausted. It's tough when the family comes to visit. As much as you want to see them and love them, it's not Adelaide. You can't get
Mm-hmm.
anywhere in 20 minutes. You get to
Mm-hmm.
the first traffic light and you wait, and then there's traffic and you want to destroy yourself. Like, every day in Melbourne, I question everything. The amount of
Mhm.
time I'm sitting in a car, it's painful. So for all the people that have long commutes, I hope you're listening to us during those commutes, because I just listen to podcasts to get through it. But yeah, so really nice. It was a quick, short 4 days, and then we had one day in between, and then my brother showed up.
Mhm.
So yeah, more babysitting.
Yeah.
And look, it was nice. Once again, it was nice to see him. But I had some stuff planned. It's the first weekend. I mean, I had training in the morning. Then picked him up, chilled for the rest of the day. I think we watched the Matildas game out, and then the next day was a day off. And my friend and I, Jessie,
Mhm.
decided to put a market on to try and sell all of our clothes. So Aaron and I will be moving out in April. So I was like, we need to declutter. Jessie has just moved into a place. So once again, she wanted to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff. And we've been talking about it for a while. It's like ever since I stepped foot back into Australia, we're like, we need to do a market. We're going to make some money. And I had a free Sunday, and there was a local market that was running. We got a spot in, and I hyped that shit up like no tomorrow. I was telling everybody about it, got all my
Mhm.
teammates to come. I was wearing costumes throughout. I was hassling people like no tomorrow. We ended up making the most money on the day. It was from 10 till 4 p.m. non-stop, absolute shithousery.
Wow.
Like anytime someone came by, I was like, oh, like, I'll give you 50 cents if you want to know the story behind like this. Well, actually, no, you give me 50 cents if you want to know the story about this piece of clothing. And
Mhm.
people were intrigued from that point on. So I made a lot of stories up. Some were true, but some I had to make stories up because people thought they were all my clothes.
Mhm.
No, mostly Aaron's clothes. So
Mhm.
I had to really, I guilted people into buying stuff off of me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I rate it. We made lots of friends there as well,
Yep.
entertained the whole place. Some of the people that work there, we're now going to form a futsal team in the off season.
Oh my
I'm not allowed to
God.
play, but all the others are going to play, and I'm going to be the coach slash mascot of that team.
Yep.
So we're just making friends. It was like a friendship building experience while making money and getting decluttering. It was so good.
It's like wins on
So
all
good.
fronts.
Yeah, it was just a day of wins. And it's exhausting. Being a salesperson is exhausting. And
Mhm.
I mean, that's what my dad is. He works in sales. So clearly I have that skill
Mhm.
inside of me. And that was the time I was able to let it out. And I'm thinking I'd be really good at selling some stuff, Josh. So if you need me to sell stuff, I'll get my lobster costume and let's go.
I did see your sales online, and I thought Alex should use that lobster costume to promote the podcast. That's what I think.
Oh,
Just sell us. Just sell us.
I could do that. Yeah, I'll happily do that. I'll ask the lobster costume if it's all right first, but yeah.
Check in, get consent, make
Yep.
sure it's all good. I'm
Yep.
intrigued though. What was one of the most memorable or your favorite story that you told, whether truthful or not, to someone to buy a piece of clothing?
So Erin has a bunch of she's gonna kill me for this when she listens back to it. Oh, she's not gonna be happy. Anyway, as you age, your body changes. That's all I'm gonna say. There's some pants that Erin can't fit into anymore, and she just wants them out of the house. So I told this lovely lady, I said, if I come back home with these pants, my girlfriend will break up with me. You need to buy them. Like, I guilted her into it. She bought 3 pairs of pants. And I was like, you were saving my relationship here. Like, and look, they are nice pants, but still, like, I was like, yeah, like, she'll cry as soon as she sees these pants. Like I milked it and we got the sale. So
That is fantastic.
yeah. But yeah, I was also wearing a unicorn neck pillow. So
Hmm.
like, on planes, neck pillow, imagine that with a little unicorn flippy heady
Yep.
thing
Yep.
over the top and a beautiful kimono. So I wore that
Okay.
for a lot of my sales. And I
Okay.
was really trying to get somebody to, you know, get in on it.
Mm.
And right at the end, we're able to sell both of them for $2 each. So
How?
another win.
How? How?
Hassling the people that worked at the market.
Fair.
Yeah, I was like, come on, like you help me, I'll help you. Like I was like the people that we made good friends with. Um, I was sending over my teammates to their stand so they could make some sales. Like
Hmm.
I was like, guys, like this is what the markets are all about. We help each other out. Yeah, I was really working the room there. So by the end of it, we made that much of an impact that some lady that was in a far corner, she came over and she was like, I really want the neck pillow. It's like, darling, thank you. $2.
That is that
$2 for
is
you.
fantastic. That is great. That's really refreshing and very vibrant to hear. I'm very happy to hear this.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw any of the footage of the day. There was also a very ridiculous dress
Okay.
that clearly no one would think I would wear, but for
Uh-huh.
like I think we had like a team party last season and the theme, it was like my going away basically, because I was going to go to the US. So it was my last
Mhm.
home game with the Victory Girls. And the theme was to dress up as another teammate. So I figured I need to go all out and
Mhm.
dress as someone wouldn't expect. So it's really tight, super overly like colorful dress, like absolutely atrocious. I got a blonde wig with it as well, which I sometimes wear walking to Audi if I feel a bit frisky. Um, but like this dress has been haunting me ever since I bought it. Like I got it from Savers and I'm like, I need to get it out of the house. And we convinced a group of 5 teenagers to buy it for $5.50.
That's
And
brilliant.
all I had to do was I had to sign it, to be fair,
Yeah.
but still, it's fine. We made the sale. It's in a better place where it will be loved a
That
lot more
is.
than it was loved here. So
Made my day.
yeah,
And you did mention
I think yeah.
was that going?
No, I'm just gonna say, like, if you ever saw me in this dress, I think you wouldn't want to be friends with me anymore. It was yeah.
Let's not say that. Like I've seen you in a few things, right?
No, well,
Right? And I think
nothing like this. Nothing like
okay.
this.
Well, I just think back, and I've seen you in oversized baggy shorts and a glove, right? If I can be friends with you through that and seeing those photos, then I can be friends with you through anything really.
Just one glove.
Two gloves.
There we go. Because you're painting a really weird picture. Like, am I wearing a shirt in this instance? Like, what's
So I did say a glove. I mean, I've
a
seen a glove,
glove?
but I've
Yeah,
seen the glove
you've
on the
seen.
other side as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 gloves. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, that I sometimes look back and I question a lot of my choices, but it makes
Hmm.
sense now growing up that I just kind of continue with all of that. So,
Go with it.
eh,
Go with it.
it
And you also
works. It
and
works.
you also just mentioned that you're moving out in April.
Yes, that's next month.
I know that is the next one. So everything happened, everything's gotten gone, everything's been sold, and you're all good to go.
Yeah, so we finally made the sale after a lot of having to keep the house super, super clean,
Mhm.
a lot of open houses. I even resorted to writing notes for potential buyers. I was like, tick this box if you want to buy the house. And then like underneath, like, haha, got you. No one ticked it, but apparently it was received well, and one of the people that liked it did end up buying the house.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, we've made the sale and it's all official. We have to be out of here on the 2nd of April. So there's going to be like a few weeks in between where we're a bit homeless. We're figuring out a
Mhm.
solution at the moment though, but yeah, it's exciting times. Gonna have a little home to actually
Wow.
go to, like crazy. This is like
This
all
is
I've ever
cool.
wanted Super cool.
Yeah, this is cool. How do you feel about it?
Like I get a little bit emotional at times, like thinking about like driving and like go like just driving, stopping, going into my little home that like I've worked so hard to get. And yes, it's, co-ownership with Erin, fine, whatever. We
Mm.
now can't break up, like that's fine. But I will, we're bound together. It's probably more serious than marriage, having a house together. So yeah, we really got to make it work. But yeah, super, super stoked. Like it was not something it was basically either I go overseas again and keep trying to make my overseas career work, or I
Mhm.
come home and, you know, start my life as an adult back in Australia. So we've really hit that hard,
Mhm.
buying a house,
Mhm.
making a podcast, like super adult stuff at the moment,
Being
having a
a market
market.
stall.
Yeah, like full on side hustles. It's, life-changing stuff.
You're really planting roots, aren't you? You're really planting roots.
Yeah. And I'm that good now that I give assists to goalkeepers as well. That's what I do.
Just next
I'm
level
here for the
shit.
people.
Just
Next
next
level
level
shit.
shit.
Um so yeah, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be like a little bit stressful with the move because that's
Mhm.
also if we end up making finals, that's right in the finals series. So interesting
Mhm.
timing to do this all, but yeah, super super rewarding. And within all of the bits of that, Erin wants to go on a holiday, so we've now booked a trip to Asia. So great for us.
Wow.
Add more things to the list.
Sick. Okay, like whereabouts in Asia? Tell me.
We go to Singapore,
Uh-huh.
then we go Georgetown, we go other bits of place, Bangkok. We'll go
Yep.
to Bangkok. Um, we're doing a lot of Cambodia. I wanted to go Vietnam, but Erin's done that she did that for a month. So she was like, I want to go to
Mhm.
places I haven't been yet. Um, there's another place. There's one place that we're purely going to that's a smaller town in Cambodia because there's a common goal like organization there, and I want to go visit and like see what it's all about there. So
That's
we'll
sick.
spend one night there, which will be really cool. I refuse to do anything near water. Like Erin was like, "Oh, look how cool this is! We could stay on the river." I slide through the photos. There's a freaking crocodile. I'm like, no, not happening. Not happening. There's like these baby snakes slithering around. No, that is not a holiday to me at all.
Wow, that sounds cool. That sounds really cool.
It sounds cool. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the first place, I think in Georgetown, we're staying like above a really cool cafe. So it's
Hmm.
like the cafe kind of like has these little places up top that you can stay in. And yeah, I mean, we love cafes, so we're
Yeah.
just going to be living there basically and exploring. So not a lot of plans like whilst we're actually there, but we're just going to all these places and having a holiday for the first time
Oh
ever.
wow. Yeah, it sounds like it would be like a longer trip as well. How long are you
Yeah,
heading off for?
it's going to be 2 weeks in total.
Yep.
So first of all, we go to Sydney because my cousin's getting married.
Hmm.
So I actually get to go to a wedding again. Like, well, look at all this adult stuff. Crazy,
Wow. Wow.
crazy. The things I mean,
Wow.
like I have been an absent cousin in
Mhm.
her life. I was really hoping that I was going to be like the flower girl or something involved in the wedding. I'm not, but I get the invite, so it's
Mhm.
okay. Um, so yeah, that will be really cool. And then we've got basically a day in Sydney to just get our life together and then head off straight to Singapore. I think straight to Georgetown from Singapore as well.
Mhm.
And on the way back, we come back through Singapore and we'll obviously go to Universal to just go on all the rides and have a good time. So
Mhm. I
yeah.
would also recommend the aquarium next to Universal as well. Really, really cool. Really
Lots of
cool.
penguins. Are there penguins?
I cannot recall any penguins in the aquarium, and I'm pretty sure there weren't any penguins in the aquarium. Actually, there were penguins in the aquarium. Don't confirm me on it, but I have been to two aquariums in the last year, and one of them had penguins. So it might be that one. Just check it out. Just Google it. You'll see.
I'll
It was,
just yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think it
I'll
was.
go.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I'm almost 100% certain it was that one, and they were very cool because I like the emperor penguins. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah.
And just hanging out doing that thing.
My
It was awesome.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
How
have
is
to
your
pick
penguin
which.
going?
My penguin in Taronga Zoo.
Yeah.
I've not heard anything. She
Oh.
doesn't write to me,
Oh.
doesn't answer any of my emails.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't
Mm.
know what's going on there. I don't know if the zoo's trying to keep us apart. I
Yeah.
did make a lot of comments about how I wanted to take her and give her, a loving life here in my Melbourne unit. But yeah, maybe they put me on a list and I'm not allowed to contact my penguin. But apparently when I go back to Sydney, I'm able to go visit. So I might do that
Okay.
before we go, just
Okay.
to see my little baby. And I got to
Yeah.
play with a little platypus there as well. So I wanna play with the platypus again. It was so cute.
That's sick. Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, I did interrupt as well. What were you going to say before? Before I asked about how your
I don't
penguin's
know.
going?
Man, I don't know. It's been a big few weeks selling houses and
Making money at
market
markets, just
stalls.
scoring own goals.
Yeah. Like,
Love it.
yeah, scoring own goals. Good times. Good times here. But please tell me about your trip.
Oh,
We're on to your trip
wow. Yeah, so we did try something when I was in Bali, and it didn't kind of work too well because I think the internet dropped out. Or my battery failed. My battery failed because I couldn't plug it in
now.
on my computer. So
Yeah.
Bali itself was great, and I think we've discussed before. I've been there many times, and I think this would have been maybe time number 14, I think, from memory.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've been there a lot. But this time we didn't go anywhere that I had been before. So we went to Canggu, went to Ubud, which I've been through before, but never stayed in, and then went up north into the mountains into Kintamani and actually stayed there. So these places are Canggu is a coastal sort of town, right? And then Ubud's in the jungle, and then Kintamani's in the mountains. And what I was talking about with Marina before we planned the trip, was like, she's never been to actual Bali mainland. So she's only been to an island off the southeast. And so we're like, all right, cool. Well, I'll give you a exploratory tour of the mainland, and we're going to go see coastal, we're going to see jungle, we're going to see the mountains. And so that was really, really cool. Like the journey itself was fantastic. And then I would strongly recommend the trip that I just did for anyone wanting to go to Bali. Purely because, so like, a lot of people go to Bali and then come back and you hear stories of, no, it was in Bali, it was okay, it wasn't the best, blah, blah, blah. And I always tend to think, if you've come back like that, you haven't actually seen Bali, you've probably gone to a lot more of like the high density tourist areas. Now, we know Bali is a very highly populated tourist country, right? Or section of Indonesia. It's a tourist island at the end of the day. But when you look at Bali, it's really highly densely populated in the southwest corner and to the south, where all the tourists fly in and you kind of stay in those areas. But where we went, like Canggu is a bit more of an up and coming, especially in the last sort of 5 years, more of an up and coming. I want to say touristy, but not tourist center. It's more so there's a lot of sort of 25 to 35-year-olds. Our taxi driver said digital nomads, go there. And so it's a lot of that. And so there's a lot of like really cool cafes. There's a lot of really cool sort of areas to be. It's a surfing beach. So a lot of people go surfing, and then in the afternoons they go to the pubs and clubs, whatever. So we kind of were hanging out there and seeing sort of the sights around there, which was nice. We stayed in the middle of a rice field, which was awesome. And then moving from there to Ubud, most people probably would have heard of Ubud. Is also a very yoga, spiritual area of Bali that's kind of more central. And that there was more so, going out and just kind of seeing what's around. We went to a coffee plantation. We visited Monkey Forest. I took Marina to some temples that, I've been to heaps of times before, and gave her the tour of the temples. And then in the mountains was just incredible, staying in Kintamani. So we're talking probably 2.5 hours north of the main tourist spots and the airport, right? And so a lot of times this area of Bali is included in tours when you go on like day tours, right? So they take you up north, take you through Ubud, up north to Kintamani. You kind of get a view of the volcanoes because the volcanoes there, and it's two concentric calderas that sit outside of a central volcano, right? So a caldera is basically think like two concentric ridges of land, and they have like a whole bunch of restaurants and whatnot that sit on the edge of the calderas that look into the center where there's this volcano. It's called Mount Batur. It's phenomenal, right? Really, really good to go if you are on that tourist bus, tourist tour. Go up there, have lunch at a restaurant, overlook, get some photos, and then head back to where you're from, right? But staying there, it's like staying, 4 hours outside capital city in Adelaide. Say Adelaide or Melbourne. I say capital city in Australia. It's like staying up there. So generally, the people that go there or who are there are locals, and that's what we got when we were there. So staying there, we stayed in this really cool lodge. Think of it like a lodge in the middle of a pine forest, and so on the edge of the mountain. So they basically cut this pine forest down, and then it was kind of implanted or built, obviously, this lodging. And it, like, to describe it to you, I wouldn't be able to. It's just serene. And the temperature every day was 23 degrees. The humidity was super low. It was, 16 overnight. And compared to like on the ground, like sea level, where we're looking at 32 degrees, 33 degrees, and 85% humidity, it was just incredible. Every night, about, let's say 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, the fog would roll in, the mountains would roll in, it'd start to rain, and then you just kind of sit there reading or go out for dinner or whatever, but there's nothing to really do there, which is fantastic, And then while we were there, we went on this tour on the second to last day, and it was a open air Jeep tour that took us down the caldera to where the volcano is. And now this volcano has recently erupted. So one of its biggest eruptions was 1963. One of the latest ones, I think, was 2000. It might be a bit after 2000. And it's still active. So we go down there and they take us onto black lava. So from the lava flows from previously have all that obviously cooled down. And it's almost like, scoria rocks, like super light, porous rocks. Fantastic. Oh, yeah. Go down there, it's just us three, our driver, and then two of us in the Jeep. Go down there, see all these like rocks and see this lava, and we just stand in the middle of the fucking volcano in front of us. And all this like landmass around us. We're in the center of this landmass of the caldera. And it was just like incredible. I couldn't even describe it. Once again, I cannot describe it. And then from there, he took us further up into the volcano, up a little bit higher up the mountain. And they have it's called black sand. So it's basically like finely ground down lava that's come out, rock and ash from the center of the volcano. It was incredible. It was incredible.
That's sick.
And then from there, we basically went to like this lake that's created in between the volcano and the other side of the caldera. It's just phenomenal. It was one of the best trips I've ever done.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was cool. That was super, super cool. I would strongly recommend it. Up there, they have, so they cultivate all the coffee. So Kintamani coffee, they export it, and they have it in the local area. We went to a plantation, a bigger plantation than the previous one in Ubud, where they had all that different, styles of coffee and different things we can taste test and different teas and whatnot. Was probably one of the coolest things. Just sitting in the middle of this coffee plantation. They've got like vanilla beans, got ginseng and cocoa and whatever it is, cacao, all throughout. It was incredible. And I think we discussed it before I went, and we just started discussing it before I went. And so on the plane on the way over, I was refreshing my Indonesian, right? Yeah. And Marina was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Refreshing my Indonesian so I can speak it when I get there." She's like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then we ended up spending the next 3 hours. I was just teaching her Indonesian on the way.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. By the time it was a 4.5 hour flight, by about 3 hours, we're mentally brain fried from it.
Yeah.
But she could read full paragraphs in this like textbook I got and understand it. And I was like, now we're onto something. This is wicked.
What the hell?
So when I was over there, I got back into speaking again, because last time I went was probably 2018, 2019. I can't remember exactly when. And I would go there and I would just speak Indonesian the whole time I was there. And after 5 years away, I'd lost it all. So I didn't lose all of it. I lost a bunch of it. So I just refreshed on that. And it was really cool. I got some really good compliments from some of the locals there, like, your accent is perfect, your pronunciation is perfect. Here's how to make it better, and I'm sitting there at one point, talking to, I think it was a taxi driver, and I was just chatting to him in Indonesian, and like Moon was next to me. I was just like, oh, you don't understand the word I'm saying right now. And that's really weird to me because I know what I'm saying and the words are processing, and like she's like, I don't know what's going on. So it's just kind of like it was wild. I have like mad respect, and I'm completely fascinated with those who are like bilingual, multilingual, and can just switch between and just keep living. You know what I mean? Like not having to think and pause and whatever. I think it's just crazy cool. Crazy cool.
I feel like that would be such a sick like superpower to have that.
Yeah.
To just be able to communicate with absolutely everybody, switch from language to language. Like that would be boss. So if there's any like radioactive bug that holds that power, come and bite me. Like,
what would be your language of choice if you had to learn one? Or speak a second one fluently? What would it be?
I would love to learn Japanese. Like I was fascinated when I was learning it. Like it would just seem so cool to be able to go back to Japan and actually speak with the locals there and have full conversations. Because there's not a lot of English speaking over in Japan, so that would have been very helpful if I knew. But yeah, I would just love to, like, I don't know, be there and understand everything that's going on. I think that would be probably my top language that I'd want to learn. And then, look, to perfect Spanish would be cool too. So either one, I'll take either one. But I think Japanese. What about you?
Well, mine's Spanish at the moment. Mine's Spanish, but just from a difficulty perspective, it'd be something like Chinese or Eastern Bloc, Serbian or Russian, just because it's a very different base language. It's a very different ancestry of the language. So that would definitely be my top one or two.
Yeah, I mean, look, I should probably learn Polish and Arabic as well. So, speak with my relatives, that would help.
Yeah. Well, look, I think we've less than a minute to go on this one.
Yes. That went by quick.
That went by way too quick. Like way too quick. We've got more to chat about, more to discuss. So we'll check back in very soon. Very soon. And we hope you enjoyed the episode. This has been Best of the Mess podcast. It's Joshua Smith and Alex Juliet.
Woo!
Yeah, it was an outro. I'll speak to you soon, friend. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right.